Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm Bear DeGidio, and we are back with another episode of the JAXXON podcast. I'm here with the one and only Rampage Jackson, and before we hop into this with the one and only Big Country, I got to let you guys know you can head over to JAXXON.com and use promo code podcast15, get 15% off site-wide, all of the new chains, all the new jewelry, bracelets, rings, pendants, as well as our brand new Cuban 8mm in the Cuban 5mm iced out and the new Mariner Link iced out. So there you go. Those are the three new chains. Rampage looking at me crazy right now.
Yeah, how you remember all that stuff?
I don't know. It's the same way how you know what club to go to when you go to VM. No, come home with 3 or 4 girls.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
He be getting me in trouble. He don't even know. He be getting me in trouble.
Why?
Because I only date one girl, and she'd be like, I watch your podcast.
But you send me those DMs when you're in Vietnam of you going home from the club with like 3 girls. You don't send those to her? All right. So we got Big Country in the house, the one and only. Yo, thank you for coming through.
Appreciate it. Yeah,
it's amazing. We just had Blake Snell outside, 2-time Cy Young Award winner, one of the JAXXON athletes. He's a pitcher. He saw you. He goes, oh, damn, he's scary. And I was like, he's such a nice guy. Go say hi to him. He goes, no, I'll wait till you introduce me. He scares me.
Yeah,
you get that a lot?
Yeah, you do look like the old pro wrestler, the Moon Dogs. You remember them? they were some scary looking dudes, man.
I'm the nicest guy you know.
Yeah, he was pretty nice. He was pretty nice on The Ultimate Fighter. We spent a lot of time there, like 6 weeks. He was pretty nice. I didn't like him much because he kept beating my fighters, but he was nice though.
Season 10, right?
Season 10, most watched in UFC history.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd you guys get the data from? UFC told you guys that, or is like a thing?
It should be.
Yeah.
It was because it was on Spike. It was actually the biggest one was when I fought Kimbo.
Oh wow, that was a great fight. He was the ops though, huh? He was your enemy on that show.
Yeah, man. He was an enemy, man. We trained Kimbo so hard for Big Country, and I was like, man, just don't go to the ground with him, Kimbo. What are you doing? Don't go to the ground. I was kind of upset with the way my assistant coaches and stuff was showing them stuff. I'm like, that shit ain't gonna work against Big Country. What's wrong with y'all? That was bad. I mean, I think the TV show could have been so much better because Kimbo was actually my roommate.
Yeah,
he was a roommate.
He was my roommate, and dude, we talked. He talked about the porn business. We talked about the fight business.
Well, he was a porn star.
No, we used to work for the porn business as a bodyguard.
You was a bodyguard?
Kimbo was.
Not you. He was.
He was.
I didn't know all that.
Oh, you didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was all in the whole porn business. You know, that's who got him into with Icy Mike.
Oh, Icy Mike, yeah. But I didn't know anything about the porn business.
Oh yeah, that whole I think was it like the I can't what's some of the porn websites?
Big Rampage.
Pornhub, that's what I know. Pornhub.
What do you use? Give me your top 3 sites.
I know Pornhub.
I think no, Reality Kings. That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I never heard. Is that don't even sound like a porn site?
You never been there?
No, I ain't never.
Let me check your browser history.
Go ahead, you can check it right now.
He been there for sure.
I never heard of that one.
Yeah, no. So when we were roommates, it was. I mean, it was good. Always good conversation because I'm like, how the hell did you get in here? Like, how you bring some? How did you bring all your buddies here when we're fighting? Like nobody's not allowed to go where we're supposed to. I'm like, oh, this is so crazy.
Yeah, he was pretty tapped in with the culture. I feel like Kimbo was like one of the first guys to really have that transition from backyard brawls and street fights and these like cool viral videos, and then just exploded on the scene, huh? I mean, did you ever look at him like intimidated? Like, damn, this guy's another animal.
No, I was just looking at it like, man, I'm losing so much money fighting on the UFC. Because everybody's like, I want to fight him. I'm like, that's the last place I don't want to fight him in here. I'll fight him out there.
Yeah, you would have made a lot more money fighting him.
Fight for free.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it didn't make no sense.
But that was it was free, but it was for like a big contract, or was it?
Yeah, 6 figures over 3 fights.
Oh no, my God!
Come on, man.
Yeah, but you win your shot.
There was a whole reason why I did the Ultimate Fighter. It was because there was longevity in the scheme of things. The PR, because up until season 10, they never cut a Ultimate Fighter winner. So you're like, okay, long term. And then as soon as I got my Ultimate Fighter contract, they cut Escudero or one of the first I think it was Escudero, like UFC whatever, when he was in like UFC 7 or whatever, they cut him. And I'm like, oh, that was stupid. Now I'm stuck in this stupid contract.
You didn't fight in the UFC before Ultimate Fighter? Oh, okay. What organizations you was with before?
I tried to stay away. Like I did the IFL.
Yeah, I remember that.
So we got paid, monthly.
Yeah.
And when you fought, it was like, a good gig. And then they start paying coaches more. And you're like, what? IFL, Bodog. Those are like my, the big ones. And then I was going to go with Affliction until,
they folded.
Until they ran out of money.
Yeah. I don't know why Affliction tried to jump into the fight game. They should just stay with clothes, to be honest. They was killing it with the clothes.
They were. It was when they did they teamed up with, what's the one in Florida where Shaw was like the boxing guy? Elite XC.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
They teamed up with the Elite XC, and then they were like, oh, that's how you do it. Okay. And then
they was overpaying fighters or something, wasn't
they were.
You can't overpay a fighter, but that's what
they weren't thinking on how to make their monetization. Like okay, we got a TV deal, we got this, or we got this. Like how to. I remember when because I think they were paying like Ben Rothwell like $700,000. Like just ridiculous. And I think Arlovsky was when he got knocked out by Fedor. I think it was like 800. But Fedor always made great money.
Yeah,
he's a big draw though.
Yeah.
Fedor deserved the money. Fedor always. I feel like that guy. That's a name that just everybody, no matter what point of his career he was in, you're just excited to watch Fedor
because it's going to be a good fight.
Yeah, the guy's a real dog. Did you guys ever make up or like become friends after the Ultimate Fighter? I feel like you guys are two iconic names. You two, yeah.
We never had any.
We never had real beef.
We never had real beef. I just didn't like him beating up on Kimbo. That's all. But it's the fight game. I know somebody got to win, somebody got to lose. I was never mad at him personally, but I wish he would have just laid down and let Kimbo beat him up.
But I knew when I was going to the Ultimate Fighter, I was going to win it.
You did. Why? You knew you were.
No, nobody's stupid enough to take that much of a pay cut.
Oh, got it. Yeah. I mean, it's an interesting thing though, because Ultimate Fighter at that time really could propel your career though, right? Like, I mean, winning, you became like the first Ultimate Fighter champion in a way, right? Like winner in a way, because they didn't really declare it a winner, right?
No, I remember when I talked to Dana to get me on the show. I was like, I want a season 5 contract because I think season 5 was like, if you win the Ultimate Fighter, you fight for the belt next. That's what I was like. I want to be that guy. I don't want to be the guy that got, I'm still on this 15 and 15 bullshit.
The pricing and like the contracts that you guys were getting at that time in the UFC, was that really just dependent on what the UFC felt like giving you, or like could your agents really sway them at all? Like, why was the pricing so low? Like, I mean, I just feel like the contract value is ridiculous. Like, how is that even available?
I think it's still, they're just business, dollars have to make sense. And, as long as we got this 80% margin over here, we're good. In any type of business, you got 80% margin. Yeah. Especially if it's a service business.
I'm surprised the fighters, you guys never try to like team up and create a union or something?
I think some people try to do that before, like a long time ago. It don't work because union don't work in MMA, in my opinion, because, so many fighters want fights. Then, the fight's going to go on. Somebody that's even unknown, they're going to go and just take the fights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First of all, there's not enough money, like because it's the guy that's, because a lot of people think the whole card, like MMA used to be like the whole card was good. Now it's back to boxing where it's like, we only got this headliner, unless it's like UFC 300. Then it's like, we stacked it for you. And you're like, well, you really didn't stack it. It's just, we know who that guy is now. Because before, like, who do you know is fighting this weekend?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like the big names are just.
There's fights this weekend.
I didn't even know there was fights this weekend.
There's fights this weekend, and then there's fights next weekend, and there's fighting next weekend. The only reason why I know is because Sean Strickland's in my gym, and he's fighting for the belt.
Is he fighting this weekend?
No, next weekend.
Who's he fighting for the belt?
In Toronto, the
DDP.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, they gotta be kissing dudes. Yeah.
You heard about this?
All I know is that they just don't like each other.
Oh no!
You haven't seen the pictures of him online kissing his trainers after he win? I've seen it. I be on social media though.
You're on those porn sites too.
Oh my God, bro.
Nah, not the porn sites you and Kimbo would be on. I heard you was talking about being his cock double for his next porn.
Is it big?
When you guys were on the fight, when you guys were on the Ultimate Fighter and you guys like had to fight, because social media wasn't really that big back then, right? How did you even like as a fighter, or as like a personal guy? Because I obviously own a business. I always wonder this. Like, how did you ever look at yourself as building a brand? Because you have a really big name and a big brand. Big Country is like a thing. People love you for that. How did you ever look at that not having social media?
I think the joke, was because the joke was for me, like how I got stuck with Big Country was because they thought I was like from Iowa, Oklahoma for wrestling. It was like wrestling like Tito, like you know how like everybody just kind of get, but you know Big E, Eric Pele.
Eric Pele.
He was a King of the Cage champion, you know, for super heavy back when they used to do super heavy.
Yeah, I do.
He's the one that gave me my nickname, and then the more I fought Big Country, I was like, I'm from the city, I'm from Las Vegas. And then the more it stuck, you know what I mean? Like it just sticks. And then, so when Big Country came along, then when I did the Ultimate Fighter, because I was more of a PR type thing, we were like joking around, like that's where I came up with the mullet. I'm gonna grow a mullet. And then when Dana's like, you got to cut your hair, then I grew a beard. You know, like
why Dana want you to cut your hair though?
You know, you got to look the part sometimes.
Man, you can't tell me how to wear my hair though, bro.
Like he came up to you and said, "Yo, cut your hair before the fight," or they send you an email.
I remember getting yelled at one time because because I had a beard and you know I looked like this, and then I was the only one with three-piece suit. Everybody else had their sweatpants on, and I'm like, I look good. I'm in a three-piece suit.
Like ZZ Top.
Yeah. I mean the suit thing, even like when I think of like GSP and I think of suits at like the UFC, I never really think of like a fighter having to go to a press conference wearing a suit. And then you have like GSP and these guys and you and McGregor, and then it becomes this thing. And then you see some people where you know they don't like really belong in a suit, but they try to pull it off. I feel like some people can. Your style, I felt like it was cool. Like it goes with your look. It's kind of a unique look. Like this guy looks like that with the hair and the craziness, and then he's wearing a suit.
You're the big peacock.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like Luke with the dog.
What do you think about Luke Rockhold?
Luke's awesome, man.
Yeah. You trained with him before?
I actually trained with Mo. I think I might have trained with Luke one time in our long career, but I knew a lot from Mo.
Mo Lawal?
Yeah, Mo Lawal. King Mo.
Yeah. King Mo?
King Mo.
I can't stand that asshole.
Why?
Because he wrestled him.
Well, I didn't like I didn't like him before that because he didn't like me.
Why not?
Because I think I said it before, because he said the first time he met me was at King in the Cage, and I was talking to 4 people, and he came up to like say hello to me and shake my hand or something, and I ignored him. But I think I was talking to like Terry Trevorcock and some other people. I was trying to make extra money. I was making like $500 a fight back then. I ain't worried about
Terry did it for the love of the game.
That's right.
He's like, I just do this because I love it.
But I'm gonna tell you this though. Out of all the promoters I ever fought for, I like Terry the most.
Why is that?
Because Terry, he always kept it real.
He knew where he lived. That's why he's like, I see you.
Terry, he always kept it real with me, and he the one who helped me get in Pride.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. So he's like he was like a manager almost.
No. He wasn't like a manager. He talked to Pride and stuff like that. And when I went to jail for trying to leave for Japan the first time, he bailed me out.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah. I like Terry. I like Terry Trevorcock. Out of all the promoters, he was always cool.
There was a lot of talks of you two potentially fighting in Bellator. Was that ever presented to you guys?
I don't remember this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the only. I got talked to a couple times.
Yeah.
It never happened.
They never talked to you?
I don't think. Unless they talked to my manager. What year was this? You remember?
Probably like 5 years ago.
So that's 5 years ago. I don't know if Tiki was managing me then.
I think no, Tiki was.
Oh, okay, this is probably when he first started managing. He probably didn't say nothing to me.
So, like, does the manager get offered fights and then they kind of like hold it to themselves? Because I feel like I saw Aljo.
Depends on who your manager is.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
If your manager's like, you know, on the up and up, then he'll tell you. If he's on the lower, like,
you know, maybe he told me, and just like 5 years ago. Shit, I don't know what the fuck I talked about 5 days ago.
Yeah. No,
but I would have remembered if they offered me a fight with Big Country. I would have remembered that.
Yeah, that would have been a big fight.
That would have been a big
You
fight.
guys would have sold some pay-per-views.
yeah, but you know, Bellator just got sold, so they're not into the bright business.
No. How you feel about fighting for Bellator? I just felt like they didn't promote the fighters enough. They made a lot of mistakes.
I think for having a conglomerate, like, you know, with Viacom, they could have blown Bellator up to a whole nother level, bigger than the UFC.
Oh, for sure. But you know what I found out? So when I went over, I'm one of the first people to go over there, right? So how they got me to come over, they promised me movies.
Oh, you too, huh?
Yeah, they promised me movies, a reality show, pro wrestling, and fighting, all on the Viacom. And they was going to promote me on Viacom. So what I found out was that all the little channels that they own, they compete with each other. They don't work with each other. So I was wondering why they wouldn't be able to promote on all the different channels, like the fights and stuff. They couldn't. They're not together. So that's what.
They're together, but not together.
But not together. They won't promote each other. And you stay, or they still have to pay a lot of money, because you know it costs a lot of money to advertise. And stuff. I know you know that.
Yeah.
But if you're under this same umbrella, say Jackson owns a bunch of channels and stuff like that. And he had his own channel, I had my own channel, and you had channels you was running on the Jackson. Would you charge us a lot of money to put a commercial?
Not if we were all under the same umbrella.
That's what they did.
First I checked my shares with, like, who owns the stock, and be like, am I gonna make you money and I'm gonna make you money? Yeah, we're gonna do it together. Like, I mean, because I remember when Bellator started doing stuff on was it CMT?
Oh yeah.
They were just, because CMT's like, dude, we need content. Oh, here's some free content. And they just put it up, like, but they could have done that left and right. But they're like, well, here's MTV2 when Bellator first started, but not MTV. We can't. This is where the good people are.
Yeah, it's not smart business. I figured they were stupid when they got rid of Spike TV, because you know that was a good channel. It's good. It's like for men.
Yeah. So it's a unique business model though, right? Because they still have to pay fighters. It's not like a show. It's like there's a lot going on there. Like,
well, like with it's like the reason why the UFC got bought or could get on Fox Sports back then was because they're like, well, do we pay for college football, or we can have fights every weekend and pay the same, give them, you know, the same money. So we got content. Oh, this is content. This is one game. You know, we got a season of football games. Let's get to, that's how they switched over.
Yeah.
They're like, dude, that's easy. And then that's why ESPN's like, oh, dude, this is content. We just need to be able to have sports. I mean, that's why you see ESPN with darts and pool and bowling, because they're like, dude, we need some type of sport that's on there.
Yeah. They want to fill programming. They want to schedule programming. They also want to sell more ads. So they need more differentiation in the regions and the way they syndicate. Both of you guys were able to fight in UFC at the highest level. Both of you were able to fight in Bellator at the highest level. Was there a huge difference? Is there a huge difference on how they operated for the fighters, or both treat the fighters the same way?
I think it all depends on what you mean.
Like money wise, the way they operate with you, how they would set up fights.
I got paid more purse wise in Bellator, but I made more money pay-per-view wise in UFC because Bellator didn't really do pay-per-views.
And then that's when I think when Bellator went back to Showtime, that's like a lot of fighters don't understand. That's like mini pay-per-view, because you have to pay for Showtime.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, it's like kind of like how the UFC did Fight Pass. It's like if you're paying $10 a month, that's a small pay-per-view every month.
Yeah.
Did they give fighters a cut of that?
Who?
Of the Showtime, like?
No, but that was like content. That's why like back in the day with remember with Strikeforce, that's why like Dan Harrison would be making $800,000 on, you're like, who's he fighting? And it was just, Strike Force. You're like, he's making 800 over there,
man.
Or Verdum, like, oh, he's making $1.5 million, or whatever. You're just like,
Dan killed it in his career, man. I'm telling you, like when Pride was fighting Pride, man, he was making a bag for real. Dan,
really?
Yeah, Dan killed it in his career.
How was he doing that? Like, was his manager? Was it him?
I don't know. I never know who his manager was. I always assumed that Ryan guy was his manager.
Yeah. He's always good in the bag.
Yeah.
Because that's the reason why he went to Strike Force. He went from UFC to Strike Force. He's like, I'm going over here. There's a big bag over there.
Yeah.
His career, if people like look at his career with the organizational jump, like I went here, then I went here. It's all for the money. He played it perfectly, like as an athlete. I feel like he just went to where the money was the most. He's like, screw you guys. I already know I'm like the best. I'm one of the best. I have straps. I did it. I'll just go get money.
I remember we both was fighting in Pride, and I knew what I was getting paid, and I didn't know what he was getting paid because in Pride we wasn't allowed to talk about in your contract. You wasn't allowed to talk about your purse. And he was telling me that he was building this big ranch, and I'm looking at my purse like, God damn, I still got roommates. What the fuck going on here? But Pride was ripping me off though.
Really?
Oh man.
That's crazy. You're like one of the biggest Pride names.
Bro, they was ripping me off, and then I found out. I found out that I was getting paid nowhere near what everybody else was getting paid, and that's when I started having problems with Pride. And then I left them. The people, I guess, my handlers, for some reason they did not like me. I don't know if you ever met. Did you fight in Pride? Oh well, they had some people over there. Their name was a couple, and they was biochemists, but they worked for Pride. They was like how would I say? They was like some promoters. They helped out with the fighters. They was over some of the fighters. So you negotiate with them. You didn't negotiate with the president and vice president. This is who you did your promotion with. And their name was Yukino and Hideki. And they hated my guts. They never liked me. But the reason why I got the Pride is because the president of Risen now, Saka Kibari, he met me personally and gave me his card, and he liked me. But then I didn't negotiate with him. I negotiated with these two assholes, and they fucking hated my guts, and I didn't do nothing to them.
Yeah, it's the organizations having control over the fighters is a big thing. Like even as coaches, one thing I wanted to ask you is like after you fought on the Ultimate Fighter and then you had to deal with Evans and Rampage and all this, did it give you like a new respect when you had to go end up coaching it?
Well, actually, like, because I already knew Rashad before. Okay. But I remember having a conversation with Rashad because Rashad brought in two guys. He brought in Brendan Schwab and McSweeney. And they were like, well, who do you want to fight? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I really don't care. I already know I'm going to win. Like, you just do you. And then I'm like, well, who do you want to, who do you, like, who do you see winning this thing? Mm-hmm. And he's like, oh, I can't. I'm a coach, I can't do that type thing. I'm like, first of all, you suck as a friend then. Because you should be like, these are my boys. That's who I want. This is my best. Mick Sweeney's my best friend. That's who I want to win. I'm like, that's just what it is. But, like, let's be honest, and he's like, oh, I'm like, then you just do you and I'll just do me. And then that's where like, well, Roy's uncoachable, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, because I'm like, I really don't care. He's like, your best interest isn't me. Got it.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, as coaches of like in MMA, I mean, it's one guy fighting, right? It's not like a baseball team. Do you feel like coaches are?
Well, I think I came to when I approached it when I coached, they didn't like my guys didn't like me because I was too honest with them. They wanted me to give them the rah cheer. I'm like, dude, this is a game show. Whoever wins the contract. So I don't care how you look. I don't care if you take somebody down, lay on top. I don't care if you knock them down. You just have to win. It's a game show. They have to give you the contract. Like there's no like secret sauce or, everybody's like thinking like, and then everybody's like, then I would get in trouble by the producer, going, whatever, because he's like, well, we want something exciting. I'm like, then you got to rig it that way. Like you get knocked out. It's a $10,000 bonus. Like, guess what? You're going to see some people swinging for the fences.
They wasn't doing that, huh? They was giving them.
No, you weren't getting paid. You go, oh, here's a $5,000 bonus. Like it's a win bonus. Like I'm going to win regardless. But if you go, hey, or it'd be like the old, like Japanese, if you get knocked out, we even pay you more.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
How does that make any sense? I've heard about that in people's contracts.
Because if you get knocked out, that means you're still going to go, like, you're like, I'm not scared of getting hit because I'm going to go leave it out there and I can still make some money.
That is so crazy. They ever put that in your contract?
Who?
If you UFC?
No, not UFC. Pride offered me more money if I got knocked out or didn't tap.
That's crazy.
But they only did it my first fight with Sakuraba. Other than that, they never said, because they saw that I wasn't going for it. Especially when I actually tapped. When I didn't have to, I would have made more money if I would have just passed out. So it was like, oh no, this guy can't be bought. But it wasn't a whole lot of money though that they was offering me.
Yeah.
But how was it staying in that house and work? Because I didn't never see that. I never watched not one episode. I just seen clips.
Dude, it was like, I would say it's the worst because like where the house was, literally I'm 2 miles away where my actual house is. Like, can I just come back in the morning? Like, but because you have no phones, you have no TV, unless they're like, guess what? This week you're gonna watch some fights on TV. Oh yeah, and you're like, yeah, can't wait because it's something different than playing basketball in the back or swimming in the pool or laying out.
That's crazy.
Well, so how did you pass time? Did you read books or they just wanted you to interact with each other?
Just to interact with each other. And then for me, I wrote a lot, like just my little journal. Like
It's kind of like being in jail.
Yeah. What? You just get to go to the gym and go back home
because you didn't get to bring books.
You couldn't bring books.
Yeah, there was no. You couldn't like. It was like we want to make you go crazy, so you have to interact with so and so. And then I remember they were upset with our show, our cast because we were more of the veterans. So we're like, yeah, I'm gonna fight you. Like, hey, what's up,
bro? Do you know
like
why?
instead of crying about,
Bro, do you know why I was so pissed on that show? Because I had done that season with with Forrest first. I'm gonna keep it 100. I thought it was racism. I did. The way they was treating me and my team, I thought it was racism. And I'm used to that. I'm from the South, But then with Rashad, the same shit happened again. I'm like, man, this can't be racism. I don't always speak up about racism if I think somebody being racist, because you could be wrong. And I was wrong that time. It wasn't. It was because they wanted the coach to win that came from the show. And my fighters was telling me, they was like, man, we got to write down on the list what we want, like healthy food and stuff like that. And they never get it, or it takes them 3 or 4 days to get it. But the other team, as soon as they write something down on the list, they got it right away. But if we write down we want some liquor, we got that shit within hours. Mm-hmm. And they was telling me this. I said, are you serious? I said, yeah. So I want to talk to the production. I said, hey, listen, when my guys say they want some fucking healthy food and shit like that, you get that shit for them right away. Oh, yeah. And then I asked him in a couple, I said, I talked to him, y'all good? He said, no, same shit. And then I was getting pissed that whole time.
I think that's when they started going, hey, will you order this for me? Sure. They're like, we'll outsmart them.
So it was 100% true, Hunter. They was doing that.
They had to be, dude. Because I remember they would be like, hey, Roy, can you get me this? I'm like, sure, whatever, I don't care. Yeah, I never ordered anything. So.
The other team, they showed favoritism for Rashad's team. They did the same thing to Forrest's team because they just wanted Forrest's team to win, and they wanted Rashad to, because they came from the Ultimate Fighter, right? So that last fight, I can't remember exactly. My memory's bad. I think that was Junk that was fighting somebody.
Scott Junk fought Matt Mitrione.
Matt Mitrione was a real close fight, right? And
that's the one where Scott, we thought Scott was going to lose, wouldn't be able to fight again when he got hit in the eye.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was a real close fight, and I felt like they cheated my fight, and that's why I destroyed that door. I was trying to leave the room. I knew I was losing my temper. I said, man, I finna fuck this whole room up. Let me get out of here.
So after all these years, the door clip, the most famous clip in UFC history, is because you were mad that they weren't feeding your team.
Yeah, they was cheating my team.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they was cheating. My team was telling me that they was showing the other team favoritism. They wasn't really getting stuff from my team, and the guys was telling me. And then I saw it right then and there. Because that fight, I thought like the fight was so close. If they didn't give it to my guy, they should have at least had like another round.
Yeah, because there was only 2 rounds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it should have been. I should have been just a tiebreaker round. And so I saw myself, like, I know when I'm finna lose my temper, I was losing it, and I started walking out the room. I had a water bottle in my hand, and I tossed it. I was like, oh shit, I need to hurry up, get out of here. And I fucking opened the door up, and it was like a little bench right there, and it bounced back. I was like, I just lost it.
I think that is like one of the most clipped like video clips in MMA UFC history. I'm not even kidding you. I think that's like one of the most used GIFs in the history of GIFs.
It was one of my most embarrassing moments. I don't like.
How's that embarrassing?
Bro, it's embarrassing.
It was a paper door. That's why.
Yeah, it was. It was a cheap ass door, but still, it was a cheap ass door. It was. I think.
Why is that embarrassing? It was funny.
No, I don't like to lose my temper in front of people. I just don't like. I always get embarrassed when it happens.
You ever seen him lose his temper?
That door. That's the problem.
That's it.
Yeah.
Wow. Did you guys have a lot of interactions outside of the show?
No, not really. I mean, it was always change of gym.
Yeah.
Like when they were finishing up, we'd finish up.
Yeah. What gym did you start at?
Where everybody started at JAXXON way back.
Wow. And then how did you end up deciding who you wanted to be your coach or like stay with you during your UFC career?
They all decided for themselves.
Oh, really?
That's usually how it always does. You're like, hey, you've been loyal. I've been loyal. You know, the whole 9 years. I'll carry you along. Jump on the back. Let's go.
You had the same coaches for your whole.
Well, I did. I had Skip Kelp all the way until Skip was, deciding if he wanted to box or to coach or kind of like, John Lewis was like, do I want to be a jiu-jitsu guy or do I want to be a promoter?
Oh yeah.
You're like, hey, dude, you got to go make your bag. So go make your bag. I'm not. Yeah. So then that was my switch, and then from there I kind of bounced around, and then I found James Johnson. You might know James.
I probably know his face, James.
Yeah.
And then I worked with James throughout my whole career until he had grandkids, and then when he had grandkids, then it was like, you want to come to this fight or do you want to go see your grandkids, get popped out? Go see your grandkids get popped out. Like this fight shit's,
done.
Well, we'll always be here, type thing.
I want to ask him some more questions about the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah, go.
I want to. You remember all the stuff that we did to Rashad and stuff like with the chickens in the car and stuff like that? Mm-hmm. Was he really pissed about that, or did he just know it's for the show or something like that? Do you remember? That's so long ago.
Yeah, it's so long. I wouldn't say he was mad because there was a lot of things that like I didn't think would get to him. But there's a lot of, like, you're like, why are you mad? Like, this is a TV,
It's a TV show. We just haven't.
You're just like, dude, they're just trying to make, like, because we're boring right now. Like, nobody cares, like, until you lose. And then you're like, now you're going to drink yourself into a stupor. Because what's his face? I could even remember his name.
Yeah, but I know Titties. He took this shit to heart when we did that paint and they painted him with titties.
Bully.
Well, it's not a bully.
I still have that picture framed at home.
Yeah,
you ended up with that picture?
I still have that.
How did you end up with that picture?
Hey, when the Ultimate Fight, when I go over to the gym and they start throwing stuff away in the dumpster, I'm like, that's my face. I'm gonna take that, put that home. Oh, that's more me.
Wow, I was wondering what happened to that picture.
Yeah, when they started doing, I was dumpster diving. I took all my stuff there. I got pictures of me I'm like, that's me.
Wow.
Damn. I was wondering what happened to that picture. We had that was Tiki was the mastermind behind that. How? He found an artist or something and painted, and we painted what was that that coach name?
It was like
Drysdale.
No, it was McSweeney. They had everybody the cartoon figures.
Yeah, we had those.
Mine was just a cowboy hat and a beard.
Yeah. We didn't make fun. We didn't make fun of him that much.
Yeah, you guys liked him.
We didn't have nothing on him.
Yeah,
he was the coolest. He was like one of the coolest ones. We didn't have nothing on him. It was him and Brendan Schwab. We didn't have nothing on you, but a couple of guys we made, like Drysdale. That was the name of the coach. What was the name of the black coach? We had him wearing lipstick, like Krause.
Oh, Robert Drysdale.
Yeah.
Or no,
he was wearing
not
a dress.
Robert Drysdale. Oh gosh,
I think it was Drysdale though. His last name.
I think it is Drysdale. He was a wrestler.
Yeah. Because he talked about cross dressing or something once, and we ran with that.
Yeah, I remember.
You guys drew him as a cross dresser.
He talked about it,
and you put it in the gym.
We put it in
it's a poster
It's a portrait.
A portrait of like all of our fight, like all of us, but like us as a gimmick.
We made Rashad like the WB frog.
With skinny leg, yeah.
Why? And you guys just went and put it up in the gym?
I think so. We put it in y'all room or something.
Yeah, but I ended up with it.
That's awesome. So you went and just took all the pieces from the Ultimate Fighter gym?
Yeah.
Damn,
wow, I wanted that picture.
You need that in your house.
Yeah.
Right, you guys might have to do a gift swap.
Man, there's no way we getting that from him. That's an iconic picture right there. There's no.
I made out. Because I have like a 6x. Oh, you know what? I take that back. I got that. That was from that one. But then it was when I became a coach. Then I did the back thing when I was the coach. They had pictures of me. You know how they had pictures?
Yeah.
Like, so they threw all that away. And I was like,
I didn't even know they were throwing that shit away.
Yeah.
They're like, we're on season 12 now.
What's the relationship with Shamrock? Did you have a good relationship with him?
With Ken?
Yeah.
You know what? Ken is actually one of the first like big dudes that like MMA icon, like a Hoist Gracie, where you kind of like he was very informative. Not like, like, oh, I liked him or didn't like him. But when I was the first time I met him was I did a tryout, or I took one of my guys to go try out for the IFL up in Reno for the Lions. And then he ended up backing out because he didn't like and I'm like, dude, we flew all the way up to fucking Reno. You gotta do something. And then I was doing fighting Bodog in like 2 weeks. And then I ended up doing their little tryout, and I would beat up everybody. Remember Warbath?
Yeah.
I did the classic Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, formed the triangle on the chest, did an arm bar on them, and that's who they wanted for a heavyweight. That's how I made the IFL team.
Wow.
Because I beat up all their heavyweights, and then he's like, dude, we want him. I'm like, I'm fighting in Bodog, and then the IFL's like, you can't. Then they wanted me for the IFL, and then IFL's like, we have to have you exclusive. And I'm like, well, I'm fighting for Bodog, so you either accept me or. And I was the only one that could fight for 2 different organizations.
That's a crazy thing. Like a lot of fighters, because it's not like you guys are tied to an organization, but you get locked in on these contracts, and then it's like you're just stuck with that, right? Now we see guys like Francis Ngannou who's like, all right, screw it, I'll sign to the PFL. They'll hold my contract, but I'll go do boxing. I'll go do this.
Because that's good for PFL, and they see the big picture too, though.
Yeah, you think it's good for them then, for the organization?
It's good. Yeah, I think it's good for PFL.
It's like how we thought when we were going to Bellator. Dude, we're going to get you in movies. We're going to get you, because you're thinking long term, like, okay, I don't see myself fighting until I'm 80. But I could do a movie here, do a TV show. I can make some residual income doing some other stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what we were thinking when you jump ship, when they're like, here's all these shiny objects. You're like, yeah. Because if you go over to the UFC and you're like, hey, can I be a commentator or something like that? They're like, we got somebody else for that one right now. Wow. And you're like, or if you're like, hey, I want to be a professional wrestler. I want to WWE's calling. They're telling you to go. But unless you're somebody else, then it's like, no, we can do it for this person because they're not asking for it.
Bro, they straight up told me not to do no more movies. Straight up to my face.
How?
They told me, don't do no more movies when I did the 18. They were like, don't do no more movies. I understand. Honestly, I understand why, because the movie came at the same time I was supposed to fight Rashad after the Ultimate Fighter. When I was supposed to fight Rashad. But it cost them money. Me doing a movie cost them money. But in the long run, it would have made them more money on pay-per-views. They don't see the big pictures, so that's why they lock certain fighters in, like the big stars. They lock you in, and also so they can stall you out. You know what I'm saying? If you don't fight for a year or two, then so they think you're gonna spend all your money, and then they just throw you in a fight. They want you to fight because sometimes certain fighters they turn down fights. I've never turned down fights if I can help it.
I mean, I think I earned a lot of respect when I was on the Ultimate Fighter and they're trying to get me off the Ultimate Fighter contract to put me on another contract. And I'm like, dude, if I'm going to switch contracts, I'm going to get paid to switch contracts, And then I remember they had to fight me one more fight, and they weren't in the timeline, and they wanted me to turn it down. Like, oh, I got to fight for you. It was Stipe, my last fight.
Wow.
My contract, and I took it on like 7 days notice. I'm like, sure, whatever. I need to finish out this contract.
Wow. And what was that fight like? Break that down to me.
It was just went to decision. He ran the whole time. And then when I left Canada, there was like, dude, I can't believe you just ran from me the whole time. You were trying to swing. And I mean, he peppered me up, but I'm like, I was like, what can I do on 7 days? Like, you just swing for the fences and go.
And seven days is short notice. Though.
That's short. I've never taken a fight that short of notice.
Yeah, but when you're like, contract ends on the 10th. And
But if
not, you get extended 6 months.
oh yeah.
Wow.
So you're like, I've already sat here for 3 years doing this, and then I already got extended before because I had knee surgery right after the Dos Santos. Even though I didn't get offered a fight, but since I was injured, they still extended it out another 6 months.
So the way the UFC would do the contracts, they'd give you a 3-fight deal. Say it has to be 3 fights within 1 year. But if they couldn't get you those 3 fights, they just automatically extend you.
No, those 3. I think it was with those. Anytime you had 3 fights in a year, they just had to fight you in 3 fights, and then it's up to you to turn it down.
Got it.
And if you were like, I don't like a wrestler, guess what you're getting?
Yeah,
You're getting a wrestler.
Wow,
But
that's
the
crazy.
the best thing about if you're at the top of the food chain, you're like, I don't care who you want me to fight.
Is that always your mentality? Who cares?
Like if you already know you're the upper
Yeah.
echelon, you're like, but if I'm like, well, I don't like to get taken down, I get choked out a lot or whatever, then you're like, yeah, I need to work on my wrestling.
Was there ever someone that you ever turned down?
yeah. I tried to turn down Matt Hamill.
Oh wow, that's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
Yeah,
Why'd you try to turn him down?
I didn't want to fight him because I felt like he was just going to try to wrestle me, and I didn't want to fight Matt Hamill.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Like, do you just go into that and you just kind of strategize with your coach? You just are like, I'm over this.
No, they offered me Matt Hamill, and I was like, no, I don't want to fight Matt Hamill. Give me somebody that's going to be a more exciting fight because I like to be exciting. You know what I'm saying? I like those exciting fights. I got tired of fighting just wrestlers. People just want to take me down and just leg hump me. It just gets boring after a while. And they really wanted me to fight Matt Hamill for some reason. I said, no, I don't want to fight him. And then they would.
That's them making you pay, or they're like it's one of those that's like that. But that's how they could affect his money.
That's crazy. You think that they would want to build everyone. When you look at fights, like one of my favorite fights of yours, it's not one of my favorite fights of yours, but one of my favorite moments was you eating that punch from Derek Lewis. You ate it like it was breakfast when you threw that. Like I have not seen someone throw a punch like that and just eat it like it was nothing. Like seems like you don't even care about his power, or was his power not really what everybody thinks it is?
There's fighters with we'll say thumping power, and then there's there's hammer power. You know what I mean? Like there's push, like this is a big thump.
Yeah.
Or you get the like Rampage has, and probably I have. I call like more like a hammer. Like if I hit you straight, you're gonna get a little jarred, and you're like, whoa, what was that? Where it going, oh, that was hard, but it wasn't like.
Yeah.
I call it like like a Junior Dos Santos has that hammer power.
Yeah.
Over him hammer power. But then there's guys that are just big guys that they're thumping power.
Is that Derek Lewis?
Derek, like Brock Lesnar,
Really?
they're just big.
Those some big dudes though.
Just big guys, big weight, just going at you.
Yeah, I mean, but Derek Lewis, I mean, a lot of people talk about his knockout power. You would think that he has crazy power because of all the knockouts he has.
Yeah. But his knockouts are after everybody gets tired. They're not like I've never seen him like first
round knockouts.
First round. Like the only time I've ever seen him like knock somebody out, it was Curtis Blades. But Curtis Blades was shooting in, and if you're running like this and then an uppercut hit, it's two trains hitting at the same time. And you're like, but not like I've ever seen like a straight right hand.
Yeah.
I've seen clubs but not.
Yeah, you mentioned another like incredible name, Overeem. What about Overeem? Was he as incredible as everyone thought he was? I mean, you had the chance to fight him. Like, what do you mean? Like a good juice? Yeah, no.
When did you fight him? Did you fight him when he was on?
He was juice. Yeah.
You think he was on juice?
No, horse meat.
How could he pass the screening in the UFC at that time?
From even with Matt Mitrione and like some other, like they're like, oh dude, this is how you cycle, and like I'm like, oh okay, then I remember when I fought when I was supposed to fight Shane Carwin, I said, hey, let's do VADA. This is before the USADA and do the VADA thing, and then next thing you know, that's when he retired. He could never fight again.
Oh, for real?
Because I was like, here, you know, and then I made a big deal. Like I was trying to be the first one to go, no, I know I'm clean.
Damn.
Yeah, because I remember him. He was a big motherfucker.
But everybody just cycled.
So teach me this. So if you cycle, you still get the effects of the performance.
From my understanding, like it would be like you remember when you were on the TRT or whatever?
Yeah.
You know how like you could it'd be like doing TRT except you could do I guess small cycles. So you'd like because it'd be in and out of your because when you're on TRT, it depends on what testosterone you're on. Mm-hmm. It either lasts 2 weeks in your system, 4 weeks in your system. And then there's other ones where it's in and out of your system, kind of like growth, where they couldn't tell,
Oh, but
or EPO or like.
But I assume that they can still test it still be in your system when they could tell that it was in your system.
Not if you're like depending
not
on,
if you cycle on and off, and then
or you're doing micro doses where it's like where it brings you up to this amount of level, and you never kind of go over.
Yeah, doctors they're scientific with this now. Yeah. They can kind of put you on the exact amount you need to not pass, but where it's not going to set off any alarm. So it might look abnormal, but it's not going to really like.
I'm trying to think. Because I really got it. That's how I got it in Nevada. Was what's his name? Who did Barry Bonds? Doctor.
Oh yes. He also did not.
He does snack.
Yeah.
He's the one that was actually educating me about like ZMA and like all these. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's how, okay. But he was the one that was supplying all the baseball players. So I was like, he's the guy to talk to about, if you're trying to learn how to cycle or, like, and that's kind of where you're like, okay, that's how they're doing it. Or that's, and then he's like, oh, yeah, if you do VADA, this is, then they're going to come knock on your door and you can't, find out.
So you the one that started all that?
Is it Victor Conte?
Victor Conte.
Victor Conte. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
he started having fighters hiding up under the rings and gyms and shit.
He said everybody's alarm off. But Overeem was an incredible fighter, with or without the juice, right?
Yeah, no, he was like the best example is when he fought Chuck Liddell. If you look at his body, that's what he was naturally supposed to look like.
This one in Pride.
Yeah, the one in Pride. And then, but if you look at him now, that's what he looks like now.
Got it.
Because he's off the juice.
Yeah, I used to fight with him in Pride, and we were both 205, and I was big into him. And then years later, I saw him somewhere. Me and Overeem, we always been cool, and I've heard stories like because he went to K1, and he was smacking fools over there, destroying people. And I was looking at him like, God damn, he big now. Then I bumped into him and I saw him. I just looked him in his eyes. We both started laughing like, man, what happened to you? What you been doing? Horse meat, bro. Horse meat. I was like,
horse meat's a unique a unique fill-in word. What about Crow Crop? Like, how was he as a fighter?
Crow Crop's, he could, punch, kick. He's gonna try to kick you and knock your head off.
Yeah. Was there anybody that really excited you as a matchup for someone that you were like, all right, this guy I need to really buckle down for?
The only one, actually, the one I wanted was Fedor. I was holding out for the longest time to fight Fedor because they actually wanted me to fight Fedor a long time ago before the Ukraine war in what's it called? The Red Square.
Oh, yeah.
And that would have been, I was like, oh, that'd be cool.
That would have been a good fight.
Yeah.
And then I for the last 3 years, I was trying to, get it waiting on the side. And then Scott Coker was like, yeah, I'll talk to him. It's up to, it's up to Fedor. It's up to Fedor. And then
nothing.
You think Fedor ducked you?
I think so.
Wow.
Because that was out of all the three I wanted was I got Big Nog, Crow Cop, and then Fedor. That would have been the trinity of heavyweights for my our time.
Did you beat Big Nog?
Knocked out Big Nog.
You knocked out Big Nog?
Like graveyard.
With what? Uppercut?
No. Right hand.
Right. Great fight.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm sure I saw it, but I just don't remember.
It was a great fight.
It was in Saudi Arabia or Dubai or Abu Dhabi.
How long ago was this?
Long time ago. It was the second time they were there.
Yeah. I'm sure I've seen at least in clips.
He was sleep. Adrian Broner, sleep. Wow. I mean, he knocked him.
And you beat Crocop?
Beat Crocop.
You knocked him out?
Knocked him out.
You knocked out Crocop?
Yeah.
With what? With what?
Behind the head. Like, I had his back.
Oh, you took him down?
Yeah.
You knocked that Crocop.
I'm sure I saw these fights, but there's so many fights.
He genuinely gets excited.
But then Fedor was like the trend, they're like, dude, I got all 3 of them.
Yeah.
I was like, that was just the only one that won.
That would have been a crazy knockout lineup.
Yeah. I don't think Fedor is ever going to return.
No?
No, because I really want to come back. I owe Fedor a rematch because I wasn't myself. He didn't really fight me. So I told my manager, I said, tell Bellator I'll fight Fedor for free because you know what I'm saying, I need that one.
Like personally, you want that?
Yeah, personally.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't feel you were yourself in that fight?
No, I wasn't myself. I was really unhealthy. There wasn't even me. There wasn't even me in there.
Yeah.
So I do that one back. I run that one back for free. But I'm gonna tell you something about Fedor. That guy is so fast. Like you don't even see those punches coming. You don't even see him. No, you don't see him.
What I don't understand why Fedor, like for so long he ruled, right? The Emperor. For so long he ruled as like this like heavyweight titan. But what besides kicking and besides it's not like no one else in heavyweights didn't know how to kick, right? It's not like there wasn't ever great heavyweight fighters that knew how to kick. What made Fedor so unique from a fighter standpoint?
From a fighter standpoint, he didn't care. He just fought.
Yeah, he was very aggressive with it. He didn't give a fuck what you did.
If you took him down, he'd go, I'll grab down here. And then he'd come back. And then he'd get back up and go, let's do it again.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I mean, but you guys obviously had to fight big dudes. You had to fight some of the biggest dudes. Do you ever look at these guys and be like, all right, cool, there's no need to get in this style war with this guy? Or do you go into every fight being like, I'm better than this guy?
That you just go in, I'm better than this. Like it's if I used fight IQ, like as a coach, your mentality would be a little bit different. Like, okay, I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to take it down. Like it's a lot safer. Like my last fight IQ. Mm-hmm. Stupid. When I fought Derek Lewis, fight IQ. Stupid. When I just go out there and just be me, 100% works out in my favor every time.
That's interesting. Like when you're not overthinking the fight style, like stylistically, I should do this.
Well, it's like playing basketball. You're like, okay, well, we're already up by 12. So if you just kind of pass the ball a little bit and, like it's just, but sometimes you're like, dude, and when someone tells you, oh, he's a good wrestler, like, yeah, he is. Let's see it. And then you're like, I'll show him an uppercut. Like what? Like you just don't. You just kind of like I'm gonna do my own thing. You know.
So how are you feeling about the bare knuckle MMA? You in the Masvidal show, right?
Yeah, I like the one thing I like about Masvidal's bare knuckle MMA. It just makes grappling easier. The only thing about bare knuckle is distance. I think Luke probably even said distance is like so like.
What do you mean?
You go, like, how when you box, then when you go to little gloves, and then you go to no gloves, like distance is like so like off. Like when you're like, oh, I got to throw a right hand, and you're like, I'm short a good 4 or 5 inches, or just.
You always short 4 or 5 inches.
Mm-hmm. That's why I'm the double.
Like that. It's like that. It's like that, dude. But Luke, I mean, Luke's an amazing fighter. He had the strap. He knows how to fight. He knows how to stand there and bang. He knows how to go on the floor and bang and wrestle. He's amazing at jiu-jitsu. Why do you think a guy like Luke couldn't beat, little Mike Perry?
It's a distance thing. It's like, but it's like once you, once you kind of do it, you're like, oh, okay.
Oh, got it. Like Mike had the upper hand because he's already been smashing.
Yeah, like it'd be like, like Rampage used to wrestle before you even started fighting, right?
Yeah.
Right? But he hates wrestling. But he knows how to wrestle. Like there's just like, you just kind of like when you're like, oh, okay, I can do this.
Yeah.
But I don't want to do this.
Got it. I mean, you got robbed on your last fight. I think everybody knows that, right?
Oh, everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody, even George and
Masvidal?
Yeah,
Masvidal knows you got robbed in your last fight.
They did a press release to talk about it.
You hear about this?
No, I didn't hear nothing about it. I was planning on seeing that fight because, I know the guy that you fought come from Memphis, and I trained with him and stuff before. I wanted to see it, but I think I was out of
Alan?
I was out of the country or something.
Why do you feel like everybody knows you got robbed though? Why do you feel like the press release was needed?
Oh, because I think I was on top for 13 out of 15 minutes. Like it wasn't, and then like power wise, like the only person that was bleeding was him. Like it's one of those like.
How did he get the decision though?
Yeah, that's what I want.
We're in Mississippi.
Oh, that's his neck of the woods.
No,
yeah, that's
you
his
think so? I know, but you really think that that's why? Because
that's why it was a split decision.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, you think things like that really happen still?
Oh man, Mississippi. Oh my God.
Come on, the ref in the back was sitting there talking about like, okay, here's the rules, no shitting on each other. Like, I mean, they were like, you know, like I'm like,
yeah, Alan Belcher, he's from Mississippi though, right?
Yeah, he lives there in Mississippi.
Wait, what do you mean the ref said no?
Like the ref was like talking about like just weird, shit. Like I don't want to see no pissing on people. I don't want no like you're like when you're like trying to like be serious, but then he's like, I'm serious. I don't want nobody shitting on anybody because I think that was the one where you see on a meme where the guy does a flip and shits on the fucking thing. That was in fucking Mississippi. I think.
Oh, bro, I would never fight. I would never fight in Mississippi again. That's why I fought King Mo, and Bellator told me like, oh, we need more ticket sales, more pay per view, whatever the fuck they was doing. And you know, I tried to spice it up, and me and King Mo, we really don't like each other. So all right, I'll get in his face, and I got in his face. He said some bullshit to me, and I pushed him, and they fined me. And Bellator didn't even have my back. I said, man, fuck Mississippi then. I never. And the guy, the athletic commission, bro, straight up, he was talking shit. He was like, well, that's why King Mo's going to beat you tomorrow anyway. I was like,
what?
Yeah, commission saying this shit. I said, for real? Really?
Commissioner of the state athletics or of Bellator?
State
either
athletics.
or.
Yeah.
But he was commissioner in Mississippi. Bro, he was very unprofessional.
Never go back.
Bro, he was very unprofessional. I said, oh, it's all good. I'd never fight here again.
I'm surprised they didn't fight him.
They fined me for a lot of money. It was a lot of money. I can't remember what it was, but it was something like 20 or 30 grand or something like that.
For what?
For pushing him.
Just for pushing him.
Just for pushing him. Mississippi.
It sounds like me in Brazil
What happened in Brazil?
when I pushed John McCarthy.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you pushed John McCarthy?
That was a judge, right?
No, ref.
He was ref.
Yeah, I ref.
You don't like Big John?
No, it was when I fought Bigfoot. I knocked out Bigfoot, and then he wanted me to keep punching Bigfoot because he was out. He's like, no, and I was like, come on. And then, because you've ever fought in Brazil?
One? Oh, whoa. No.
Well, they were like, I mean, it was bad. Like you know how like when you come out and they're screaming whatever they're screaming in Portuguese, like you know, they kill the white boy or so, you know, like it was they were chanting, and I was like, dude, if I walk out of here like because Bigfoot was actually born in where we were fighting. That's where he's from. So they were, you know, like I thought they were on my side, but they were on his side, and then. I remember I'm like, I got to do something to get them back on my side. So then that's why I was like, you know, mad that Big John wanted me to keep knocking him out. And I'm like, dude, he's already knocked out. And then I was like showing that I was upset and then acting like I was going to kick him. But then I didn't get kicked. And there's only one commissioner over in Brazil and he had to get paid.
Yeah. So they fined you. It was a lot of money.
It was a lot. That's why I was like, that's a lot of money for just pushing.
Yeah.
Damn. So everybody's getting fined.
Well, if they can, they have the power. They have the power to fine you, and it comes out of your purse. Like you can't even fight it, right?
That one, I had to write a check separately.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
that's gotta hurt.
It did, and then the UFC needed to fight me in 4 months, or 6 months. So then my suspension was only 5 months or something like that.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
It was we'll suspend him. But he's fighting in 6 months.
I love it, dude. Like it's crazy how the UFC, because obviously they can do whatever they want. It's their rules, their league. But like that's crazy, right? You get suspended, but it's like, no, we'll just shorten it by like 3 weeks and we'll put you right back in.
As long as we can make money. Everybody needs to make money.
That's it. I mean, do you feel like the UFC is going in the right direction though? I mean, you're still fighting, obviously not in the UFC. You're a veteran. Like, you feel like it is going in the right direction for fighters?
Depends on what your
money wise.
I think depends on who you are.
Oh, got it.
If you're in the upper, that upper 20, the 20%, then probably not.
Yeah.
If you're on the, on the other side, then you're like, man, this is rocks. You know what? I'm a professional fighter. I make $80,000 a year.
He's right though.
I fight for the UFC.
Oh my God, he's so right.
I don't do MMA. I do UFC.
Bro, he is so right. I heard about fighters fighting in the UFC for free, bro.
Stop.
No, real talk. I've heard it. I don't know how true it is.
It's called Ultimate Fighter.
Oh my God.
But those guys, they get famous though. That's what they want though. Like those guys from the Ultimate Fighter, they get so famous. Look at Michael Bisping. He came from Ultimate Fighter.
That's because people watched TV back then. Now people don't. Now
That's an interesting point.
Yeah.
If you're like, are you on ABC, NBC, and CBS? As back in the day. And then it's like, oh, now are you on ESPN, Fox Sports? Oh wait, are you on that app?
Yeah, you're on the second Fight Pass app. Is there anybody that you wish that you could have fought in the UFC when you were fighting?
I just wanted to fight for the belt. I just needed that one chance to fight for the belt, and then you can be like, because the one thing about the UFC is like, if you're in the upper echelon, you're fighting the best of the best. They're not going to give you some. If they give you some schlub, it's because they're just trying to build your record back up. If you're already at the top of the top, it's either I'm mad at you and we're going to try to hurt you, your career, or you're going to do wonders for yourself.
That's it. Easy as that.
That's why working with them, it's easy. It's either they're going to screw you by fighting the best, or you're going to fight somebody that's really, really good that doesn't have a name yet, and they're going to try to hurt you that way.
Pad some stats.
He's telling the truth. He's telling the truth. I think that's the only reason why I got that Chuck Liddell fight after my second fight in the UFC, because I openly said in interviews like, "No, I'm not ready to fight Chuck."
No, I don't want him.
No, don't give me Chuck. He's a champ. I'm not ready to fight him.
And you were on that good contract.
Oh yeah, I was on that real good.
Everybody knows about the good contract, huh?
I was on the WFA contract.
It's interesting. I feel like because even that's a point in UFC history where it's like no one gets contracts like that anymore.
Oh no, hell no,
no way.
No one had that. No one had my pay-per-view deal. Nobody had my pay-per-view deal.
They must have been so mad.
Oh man, they were so mad. They were so mad. By the time if you go back, I fought Dan Henderson on free TV. It wasn't pay-per-view. And by the time I fought Forrest, they had already changed my pay-per-view deal without me even knowing.
But that's how they used to screw the guys over too. Would be like, dude, we're putting you on Spike. You're like, no, I want pay-per-view.
Right.
I want to do pay-per-view. No, we're putting you on this TV thing. It gives you more exposure, better opportunity for you.
Yeah.
That makes sense. They try to hit you with the marketing play.
Oh my God, yeah.
You're like, I don't care about marketing.
Yeah,
you're like, I'm good on my Instagram followers. I want money.
Yeah, it wasn't even on Instagram back then.
Yeah,
I got MySpace, baby.
Yeah. Who's in your MySpace top 8? Is there a fighter that really looked out for you as you were coming up that helped you train and helped you kind of get to the next level, like an actual fighter, not a coach?
You know what? I just learned so much from like Eric Pele, him coming up, and then Marvin Eastman.
Oh wow, that's a good name. Yeah,
that was like that was the crew that we had in Vegas and then every once in a while Gilbert Yvel.
Oh yeah.
Oh, for real? Gilbert Yvel was there training in Vegas?
Mm-hmm. And then you'd be like,
fuck Gilbert Yvel. He fucked my bitch. You heard about that too?
No,
good.
But I could. I could see him doing that. Like,
I
didn't say Gilbert was a good person.
But is he like fun? I never got to know him very well. Is he a funny guy? He's a cool guy.
He's like the most I ever tried to do was deal with training, but Gilbert was the training wise is. He's the guy that you're like, I got to get ready for a fight. He's the guy you want because he's not gonna be nice to you because I call it the European sparring. Where they're like, I'm gonna try to hurt you, regardless if we're buddies or not buddies.
Why he never make it so? Why he never made it so big? Because he was a good fighter though, wasn't he?
I think it was because he liked to party.
He seemed like a party. He seemed like a party.
I think you'd rather do hang out with John Lewis and do the club thing. And then fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He seemed like that type.
You ever go out with him?
No.
You're not a party guy, huh?
No.
You've been married.
I'm born and raised in Vegas, so like you do all that by the time you're 21, and then you're like, Man, that's illegal.
Yeah, you've been married for a long time, huh?
Married 16 years.
God damn.
Wow.
How old are you?
I'm old. I'm older than you.
You're not older than me, no way.
Yeah.
I'm 45 years old.
47.
Yeah.
Damn.
Crushing people. Bare knuckles.
Good thing you remember my birthday. I remember yours.
What's your birthday?
June 20th.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Hey,
We birthday brothers.
I'm not even going to say it. Of course, we all were talking about that outside.
No, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, we were like, oh, we're going to throw a birthday celebration for
I
you
didn't
guys.
hear that. I told you guys I'm still jet lagged from Asia.
Oh, you tired?
Bro, I just woke up
No,
like
isn't this like 12 days later?
Yeah, bro, you've been home for a week.
I'm still jet lagged.
It's because you were out there for like a week straight.
I was out there for
up
10
all
days.
Night.
Yeah.
Be honest, it's just us two right now. Be honest. It's just us two. How many girls did you have fun with in Vietnam?
In Vietnam?
Yeah. Be honest, it's just us.
0.
Oh, you believe that?
We can ask the subscribers.
What about in Japan? Because you went from Japan to Vietnam. First of all, that's not even next to each other. So how does that flight plan work?
That's not even on the route.
That's not even on the route. Because you told me you were going from LA to New York to Japan. That makes sense.
No. You don't go to LA to New York to Japan.
Well, that's the route he took.
That's right. You took
No. You go from LA to
Seattle.
yeah.
Hawaii,
You go west.
Seattle. Yeah. But you told me you were going this way.
No.
You say you're going to go visit Fedor in Russia and then you go come right
The fuck I'm gonna visit Fedor for?
No, but what happened? How you go from Japan to... We haven't even talked about this.
No, because I got friends in Vietnam. I wanted to go and visit them. True story.
That don't add up.
No, I do. I got friends in Vietnam.
They were lady friends.
Yeah, they don't got Zoom. What are you going to do with that?
Well,
Just tell us. It's just us.
no. Listen, bro. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. I'm a one-woman man.
Okay. I'll be honest with you because it's just us. There's no way that the girl that hangs out here with you... No. I'm not saying here at the podcast. I'm saying in Vietnam.
Oh.
This guy, you see how he thinks I was going to go like rat him out like I do that. No, but I'm saying like when you go into Vietnam, there's no way that one girl with you in Vietnam, or if there is no girl with you in Vietnam, there's no way you're just there with your friends for a week.
No. Honestly, I'm gonna tell you. One of my friends out there, his name's Chris. He owns like the biggest gym in Vietnam. It's the biggest gym I ever seen in the world. It's called SSC. I think it's Saigon Sports Center.
Okay.
And I go out there and I train. I spar one of his heavyweight boxers.
No way.
Yeah, I just didn't post a video because I was on vacation in Japan. I was eating really bad and my stomach got big overnight. So I don't be posting shit like that. I had a tight ass white shirt on.
Yeah, it's a filter. Wait, so you were sparring in Vietnam?
Yeah.
You didn't tell me this.
I know. You guys think I'd be out partying and stuff all the time.
Because you sent me DMs at 4 a.m, leaving the club with 3 girls. Why do you think I know it? I see it.
He's like, but that's 3 o'clock here in the afternoon.
Yeah.
But
He knows you're up.
But I was still jet lag. I'm still jet lagged from all the stuff I did in Japan and Vietnam. Japan was fun. Hey, I almost got in a fight with the Yakuza in Japan.
With the who?
Yakuza.
That's the mafia of Japan.
Yeah,
The old Pride owners.
Oh yeah, the old, yeah.
What'd you say? The old Pride owner?
Yeah, bro. It was. I told you, it was a movie. It was a movie.
Wait, tell me. What do you mean? You can't just say it's a movie. You got to tell us. That's why we're here.
So this was before New Year's. It was right before New Year's, and I was hanging out with some friends there I haven't seen in a while. And one of my friends lives out there, and he took us to this fancy place. He said, "Yeah, we're going to meet some hot ladies here, high class ladies." I was like, "Okay, let's go." And he got us a table himself, and we get there, and when no ladies fucking with us, and Bokeem Woodbine walked in, and he was like, "Oh, what's up?" He walked in with his, what do you call it, his seafood.
What's a seafood?
His
Like a teacher.
His teacher.
Oh, like a master.
Like kung fu, yeah.
you know.
And his seafood was cool as fuck. You know, looked just like a seafood would look. I was like, "Oh, okay, it was cool." But I was like, "But where the bitches at, bro?" And then all the bitches went to his table, and then one of my friends like, "Hey, this is my friend right here. His best friend owns his own club. There's going to be a lot of ladies there. You guys want to go?" I'm like, "Okay." And the owner was like, "Yeah, let's go to my club." So we go to his club. We go to VIP right there and on the stage table, girls everywhere. I posted that video. We got some hot ass girls dancing in front of us.
I wonder if you take. Yeah, you sent me the video.
Yeah, we got some hot girls up, and they ordering like like 16, 17 bottles of champagne. We ain't order shit. I don't drink champagne. I wasn't even drinking. And my friends, they don't drink champagne. But, there's a bunch of girls up there, so we all having fun. And then at the end of the night, people, about to leave. We about to go in, and the guy's like, you guys got to pay the bill. It's like, what? You guys ordered like 17 bottles of Moet. It was like, we don't drink that shit. Like, but y'all was drinking it. And so I see my friends and stuff. He speaks Japanese. He was arguing with him and everything. Then I see this big guy, Yakuza guy, come up around. He had like a what you call those things? Like you do like this and it comes out like a little
baton.
Yeah, a little baton. And I'm sitting there. I'm like this. He had the baton in his hand. I'm sitting there like this. I'm doing this too. He's trying to shake it away. I said, what you gonna do with that? And he just turns his head away from me. So he, like I'm not talking to him. I said, what you gonna do with that? And those guys arguing. And since I started messing with, I was like kind of like messing with his fingers like this with the baton. Since I messed with him, he gets on the thing. He called like three more big guys. I see the three more big guys get in. I stand right in front of him and I turn my back to him.
Is that bad? That's bad.
Oh yeah, I got right in the face. I turned my back to him, so I'm watching my friends see what was going to go down. And if my friend would have gave me the right sign, I was going to take out those three dudes. Even I was going to get the one. I was going to get the dude with the baton first. I was going to get him first,
and then get me a baton.
And I was going to take that baton from his ass and be like whack-a-mole around this motherfucker in Japan. Whack-a-mole. I was going to be like whack, 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 whack. But then my homeboy lives there. And he knew everybody, so we was like, they dropped the bill. They first were trying to charge us like $17,000 or some shit like that, and they dropped it all the way down to $2,000. And I was finna pay the bill, and my friend, the one I told you about, he said, no, I pay it, and he paid the $2,000, and we ain't had to fight nobody
over Moet.
Over Moet that we didn't drink.
And did you go home with any girls?
So how you, Big Country Man? I love that you came in here to see us. We really haven't hung out since Ultimate Fighter. I've seen
you're
you
still
here.
having fun though, right? That's good.
I love having fun.
Right? Isn't that Big Country? That's good to see someone still having fun.
I'm a single man. I don't have a girlfriend.
Oh, you're single.
I am single. I don't have a girlfriend.
What's the key to him for finding a lady? You seem like you got to figure it out.
He just knows what he likes. It's in each country.
I like a variety.
I think you're gonna hit me with some wisdom. He a black belt in jiu-jitsu. I'm ready to listen.
How you think it is? What's the key for you being married for 16 years? I was only married for 1 year. How you do 16?
Well, all the shit that you don't like, you just make sure it's not in this one. And then, or you got to find what we talk about is you got to find the crazy you like. Because all women are crazy. Yeah. You just got to know which crazy. You're like, I can deal with that crazy. I can't deal with that one.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
pretty knowledgeable.
Yeah.
I mean, for being in Vegas, like our second date, I ran my wife's credit.
You what the fuck?
See, all guys are like, yeah, right on. Girls be like, why are you running credit? And then that's back in the day when you had to dial it in with a fax number, to get your credit.
Your second date?
Our second date.
That's actually smart. You think about it, because you don't want no woman to know how to manage her fucking money running up your motherfucking credit. That's actually pretty genius.
Our first date, I'm like, what kind of purse you got? And she's like, guest purse, But if she said Louis Vuitton, you'd be like, or Chanel, or you're like, what's going on?
All right, yeah.
Unless she's like, oh, I'm an executive, or she, it depends on how she worked for her money. You know what I mean? But if
smart,
she's from Vegas as well.
She's actually from Utah, but she graduated from Vegas, from Utah, or from Vegas, from high school in Vegas. So so she's like grew up half in Utah, half in Vegas. Yeah,
it's kind of interesting. Wait, are you looking to get married though?
Yeah. I think I'm gonna get married in probably like 10 years.
10 years?
Yeah. Well, I'm old.
What are you gonna do then? What's the point of getting married?
So I have somebody take care of me when I get super old.
Those are your kids.
Those are key.
No, hell no. My kids are all spoiled and entitled. I have a deal with my daughter that I was
his kids.
See, we tell our kid, like, we change your diaper, you change ours. That's the rule.
Yeah, you can say that. You can say that. I think my kids.
I'm like, you want my money? This is how it works.
I made the deal with my daughter, but I made that deal with my daughter. I said, listen, you make straight A's and stuff right now. You make good grades. And I spoil you anything you want. I give you up to reason, anything you want. But when I get old, you don't put me in the old folks home. You take care of me. She said, yeah, I got you. But I just don't believe. I don't believe she got me, though. I just don't believe because, shit, as soon as she got a boyfriend, she don't even come see me on the weekends. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Yeah. So what the fuck?
She's just trying to live a little.
I know. I understand that. But goddamn, you still can make some time for your old dad. You know?
Not one time she comes?
Yeah, when she want to go shopping. That's her hanging out. I take her to dinner. Maybe we go shopping, and she gives me her. Okay, Dad, it was good to see you. I'm like, whoa! I got you from Friday to Sunday.
Is it hard being a dad?
It's hard
For a woman, like a daughter.
I'm be 100%. My ex-wife made it hard for me to be a dad. She did, because that's all I wanted. That's all I ever wanted to do was to be a good father, be a good dad. And she's just so petty, so she made it hard. So that's why I am the way I am. I really don't trust women. Because what he said was right. You just got to put up with the one that you can put up with. But now it's just like they left a bad taste in my mouth.
All women?
I just don't trust them, bro.
He said they. Like every woman.
I just don't trust them. It's not just one thing that one woman is just from experience. You know, if you put your hand on a hot stove, you know what I'm saying? How many times you going to keep doing that?
You couldn't wait for it to cool down a little bit and then put your hand there?
Yeah.
That's why stoves are in different countries. That's a hot pot. This
is cooled down. I can go back over the pond.
Yeah.
But now as like, I can't imagine you at like, even you, the way you walked in here, we had Blake Snell here, right? We talked about it. And he has all these kids here from all over the country building this insane baseball team. They're going to go play this weekend. And I see the way you are with your wife and your son, and you walk in, your family, and you make sure everybody's like, you could see when someone's a good dad or a good person, right? I can imagine you being a great dad and a great person. I watch how you are with your kids. But at this level in your life, when you're, going into your 50s maybe, how do you look at being a dad raising all these different ages of kids? Because you're still Rampage. Like, he's still big country.
I'm going, what I'm going to do? I'm going to make some more kids. I'm just going to make a bunch of more kids and start over.
How I always look at it is like, instead of being mad, like, like a lot of people blame their parents. Oh, my dad did this or my mom did that, what? Like, it comes, the way I look at it is, am I a better dad than my dad was to me? And if that's the case, then I know I'm winning. And then my kid has to be a better dad to his kid than I was to him. So just always up the bar. But you teach your kid like a code, a conduct, like your style of way of how you want him to go through life, some honorable things. No, I always tell him, I'm like, you got to be a better dad than I am to you. If you think I'm a shitty dad, then just be a better shitty dad to your kids. Yeah. Ooh, sorry. Watch out. Watch out. I was like, it's coming. No, it's okay. No, that makes sense. But like, it must be hard though, right? Because everybody knows you, and your kid's got to go to school, and like you think like your kid has to deal with some sort of level of bullying or people trying to talk about you or fights, or I mean, both of you guys have a couple losses. Do you think it ever comes hard for your kids? No, because my kid likes to be the center of attention. Like if I'm getting talked to, he's like, come here, I'm talk to me. Talk to me. Yeah. Don't talk to this guy. I'm the guy that can do flips. Yeah.
Your son wrestle or anything in the martial arts?
Yeah, I had him in jiu-jitsu for like a while, and he was beating he was just natural, just beating people up. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna train him to a different school. Then I took him to a school that was more like a traveling team. And he was doing really, really well there. And then, except when he would go with like guys that are like 3 or 4 years older than him, and then they would try to hurt him. Because that old school, or I wouldn't say because they're kids, but it'd be like they were teaching these kids to be killers,
like Cobra Kai type of teaching.
Yeah, type thing. And I'm like, dude, you're supposed to like that's and. So then I just try to get him into wrestling, but he's like, he likes to wrestle, but he just doesn't want to wear a singlet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a unique one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the hardest thing for me. I had to wear a
singlet in high school. I hated it.
That was the hardest thing for me to do when I started wrestling with a singlet. Then I found out girls like checking out my package. Then I was like, okay, I wear this singlet.
Do you think that's what girls wanted to check out?
The girls was checking out my package,
How?
bro. They would tell me.
How?
The girls will tell you, bro.
What would they tell you?
They was like, why you hiding that banana in your pants? I ain't hiding no banana in my pants. It's all meat. This man meat, baby. This is man meat.
They thought you was packing?
They thought I was packing. Man, one time they thought I was packing. And one time, my mama,
Your mom thought you were packing?
My mom texted me one time when I was fighting in the UFC. I never forget it. I weighed in those camouflage draws, and my mama friends told her like, my mom friend have a conversation about my junk, and my mom got mad at me and texted me. She said, "Boy, why you hiding stuff in your underwear?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" My friend said you weighed in and your package all out there. You hiding something in your underwear. I'm like, "Mom, I don't hide nothing. That's all me. That's all me." And then she got all embarrassed.
She got embarrassed because she thought you was trying to extend your rope.
Yeah, I ain't trying to do that. But that's what made me accept the singlet, and that's why I stuck with wrestling, because that's the hardest thing for a boy to do. You wear some tight ass shit. We ain't used to wear no tight ass shit. But
I could never fit in mine. I never made weight.
No, hey, the girls, they give you compliment. That's all it takes for a girl to give you one compliment. I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep wearing this singlet.
I'm back.
Yeah. So now all he does is play basketball and does gymnastics.
Oh, nice.
You don't think he'll go into MMA or anything like that?
I hope not.
Yeah.
You know how it is.
Yeah.
Like you're like if that's what you want, cool. But I know the business too much, and you're like, I'm good.
Yeah, but think about the time he gets there, like how much money it'd be in it. But honestly, you don't want to see your son get punched and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's. I mean, he's good. I mean, but if he wants to, I'm more about it. But
yeah,
it's something you don't want to see your kid do.
Yeah.
Do you do any like hobbies or sports outside of training? I mean, you're a little bit older now. I feel like you're accomplished. You don't really have a lot to.
I can see him making moonshine.
Not on the East Coast.
Oh my god.
Pretty much. I mean, all I do now is things of different ways to make money.
Think of this: big country moonshine, brother. We'd kill it, man.
It would?
Yeah, we'd do it, man.
Hey, for sure would.
Bear's rich. This motherfucker's a billionaire. We get him to fucking invest in it.
Dude,
big country.
You know a good distillery?
First of all, I'm not a billionaire because now everybody's gonna want to be paid to come on the podcast.
No, you talk about me with all these threesome bitches and all this shit. I'm throwing it right back
I'm
at you.
talking about it. I seen it. What do you mean? I saw you with 2 Japanese girls and your little dog Gizmo.
Hey, I seen him. I seen him be a billionaire.
Nah, he wrong. So
it's a lot of zeros.
I would never. Yeah, if the first thing I would do, I would try to go buy the UFC because I love mixed martial arts.
You're short a couple billion.
How much do you think UFC would cost him?
It's like 16 now, ain't it?
Right. Yeah. Something. It's
15, 16?
Yeah, and then especially when they got a lot of people to buy in the stock market.
Oh yeah.
Hey, actually, I want to ask you about that. What do you think about them merging with WWE?
Good and bad.
Why bad?
Because they'll do the same thing that like we thought with Viacom. Because they could do so well on the people that are like, I want to go this way too. And they're like, we got to make our money on you on this over here. Even though there's longevity on that side, as in if you know how to play it.
You think it's more longevity than being a pro wrestler?
Yes, depending on how you do it. Like if you do like your wrestling matches, like twice a year, like kind of think of like Brock Lesnar, like where you're like, I wrestle 4 times a year, but it's like 4 hardcore sparring practices versus I do that once a month.
Yeah.
I think bumps are, hard on your hips and, all that type of crap. If you're one of those guys that have to go around and do, 300 shows a year, I think that's harder on your body than fighting.
Have you been paying attention to it? Is Ronda Rousey is she doing good over there?
I don't think she's in there anymore.
What?
I think her contract just ran out.
She got fired or she just?
No, I think it just ran out. And I think it was one of those like, I think she went and grabbed a bag and then,
Did you ever watch it? Did you watch her over there? You been paying attention? Yeah, I didn't pay attention. I don't know if she became a big star over there. Didn't she?
She did really, really well. And I think she was even on the, they even had their little, the girls TV show or whatever. I'm like,
she was on that too. Also, her contract. You think she's done or she'll come back to MMA?
I think it's one of those like, think of all the professional wrestlers like go away and then when there's a bag.
Yeah, like Ric Flair. He's retired 10 times and he comes back. Oh, I can make a quick milli. I'm back.
Because the difference between like the professional wrestling that you get is you get them when they're 12, and then if they're hardcore fans, they're 12 until they're 72. Where MMA is, you know, that 30, 40, and then unless they're hardcore fans, and then they're like, I remember, man, we used to do this, you know.
The I remember crowd is unique in the MMA world, huh?
Hey, I think one of my best ones is I was in Walmart, and a guy goes, Roy, dude, if you fight like 7 times this year, you could retire. You know, you're like, you know how that works, right?
What did you tell him? What did you respond?
You just he's a fan, so you just go, yeah, that sounds great. I mean, do you think you could set that up?
What aisle in Walmart were you in when he asked you?
You know what? We were by the cheese.
Anybody ever tell you anything crazy about fighting, trying to dictate your career? Some fan?
Oh, people tell you stuff all the time, man.
Yeah.
I can't remember anything off the top of my head, but people try to tell you stuff all the time. They know better than you, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the worst is like when everybody's here, because obviously I've never fought in the UFC. I've never fought a professional MMA fight. I just like to train for fun, and I love mixed martial arts. People are in here, and I'm always listening because I always tell Rampage, I'm like, it's like some random content creator, some random like professional baseball player or football player, and they like walk up to a fighter, they'll talk, and then they'll come back and be like, damn, if he just knew how to throw an overhand right, he'd be able to win more fights. I'm just looking at him like, do you have any clue that like it has nothing, that's like 1/10 of what it takes to win? Like these guys, everybody has an idea of what someone needs to win a fight.
I mean, the first time I ever, when I fought, it was, I had to fight, it was a tournament, you know,
Yeah.
it was winner take all. So I had to win the tournament. And then when I told my mom that I made $3,000, she's like, dude, you could do that like once a month, you know? Like, I'm like, you kidding me?
Yeah.
I thought I broke my foot. like
Oh man. Because the injuries must be crazy to have to fight twice in one night. I can't even imagine that.
The only time I got injured was mostly in training.
Oh, really?
It's never during the fight because you're already doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Same with you?
Yeah. Most of my injuries come from training.
It's when you're doing it half fast, you're like, I was gonna knock him out, like, but I pulled it, so then I pulled my leg or something at the same time.
Yeah,
it's like
it was most time those days when you're too tired, like you don't even feel like going to training.
Oh,
for me,
yeah.
You know, some days you don't feel like going, but you have to go. You train for a fight. Those are the days where I would get injured.
It's you talk about injury though. Something I want to actually hear from you, because not a lot of people have given us a good detailed answer. Training for bare knuckle, like there's got to be some sort of technique to training your hand, right? So you don't break your hand.
Yes and no.
Okay.
But that'd come from my my kung fu roots.
Yeah, break it down for me.
Like, so if you're doing like in kung fu, you do like iron palm. Are you familiar? Like,
yeah.
Like, you know, with like slapping or the dim mock, shit like that.
He know about iron palm. He been singing for a while.
What's up? What's iron palm?
Yeah, iron palm.
Yeah. What's iron palm? I can't even take him serious right now.
So when in kung fu you'd use you have dit jiao.
Yeah.
Which is like a ointment that you put over your hands so that you don't get because if you're in karate, have you ever seen guys with calluses
Yeah.
right? And that's why you put dit jiao on your hands so you don't get calluses. So then you have kung fu guys have normal hands. Karate guys usually have like a big callus or some type of weird.
He's actually speaking Vietnamese. Dit jiao, that means cow cum.
Does it really? You playing with me?
No, I just left Vietnam. I speak a little Vietnamese. He said dit jiao.
So dick job means.
I mean, it's Chinese, but
Is it Chinese or Vietnamese?
But what Chinese and Vietnamese, they're similar
So
cultures.
dick job means cow cum?
I have no idea.
What did you just say? What is it called?
Dit jiao,
Dit jiao.
Okay, cow cum.
cow cum. So you put cow cum on your knuckles.
Where I buy that? Amazon? Because mine.
Where did you buy it from?
And dit jiao, you make it.
I can't make cow cum. I don't got a cow. How am I gonna make that?
It's like think of like it's like alcohol, like rattlesnake, and like all the like different ingredients that you put in this.
It's toughening your knuckles up.
It doesn't toughen it; it keeps them soft. So it's think of like lotion.
Oh,
He loves lotion.
but I imagine you guys in kung fu, y'all punch the sand.
Yeah. So then you start with stand, and then you work your way up to like BBs. or like small rocks, and then you go to steel BBs.
No way. And that's how you condition your hand.
And then you condition your hand from like a sandbag, and then you work to steel beads, and then so.
So you're going to continue doing that MMA, that bare knuckle MMA?
That's the plan. I mean, I'm waiting to hearing back from them to find out.
I heard they pay good, bro.
Yeah.
It's like going old school MMA. It's like how it started off before there was gloves. And because Tank Abbott, he told me he was the first one to bring the gloves to MMA.
Yeah, the gloves are only for your protection. The guy throwing the punch.
Yeah,
not the other way around.
Yeah. No, I see a lot of people, and lately I've been watching a lot of these like YouTube shorts of guys breaking their wrist in the gym, training, thinking they're gonna like train for bare knuckle by just hitting the heavy bags with no gloves on.
No, because the thing about the conditioning is first you need to like punch like boxing glove, whatever, and then but you're just trying to condition the bone. That's it. That's why you're just trying to build a calcium deposits underneath the bone, so it's like small fractures on top of.
And it just makes the bone stronger and gives it more of a protection, like a shield around it, right? So it doesn't crack.
Yeah.
What about your wrist though? Because you're not wearing too much, right? Or
no, you can wear the whole thing is think of like a regular hand wrap, but it's below the knuckle.
But the hand wrap is still the same amount of support and structure on the wrist.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
You can do it where you can't bend, or if that's how you want it. Or
you have like a special way you like to wrap your hands.
Yeah. I like to really protect my hands because I feel like even when I train in the gym, when I spar, I have to take my I have to take my hands because I hurt my wrist. Look, I got a little skinny wrist, and I punch too hard, and I always feel it. And so I have to take my hands up really good.
Yeah.
Saying I got like Shannon Briggs, I do have small hands for a fighter. Look at those big paws he got.
Let me see. Yeah, me and Rampage got like the same fist. Yeah. I think maybe.
And then you get the.
Oh my God. Yeah, you do have crazy hands. But when you are training for these bare knuckle fights, because
that was all the kung fu stuff I'm talking about is stuff that I was doing when I was 16.
Years ago. Got it. Yeah. But is Masvidal's league? Do you feel like that? Like Masvidal, the bare knuckle style fighting and those fighters? Because then there's the bare knuckle kind of like league, right? Like you have Masvidal's and then you have bare knuckle.
Totally,
they're both bare knuckle.
They're two different beasts. Yeah. It's like watching boxing and MMA.
Really,
totally two different.
Wow. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are confusing them right now because a lot of people have been talking about fights and talking about Mike Perry. And then they're confusing people like he's supposed to be fighting, and it's kind of a little bit unique. I don't think the casual MMA fans understanding that there's multiple bare knuckle leagues now.
Yeah, it's just like watching PFL. You're like, dude, that's the UFC.
Yeah,
because they're on ESPN.
Yeah. Which one is the UFC right now of bare knuckle?
Bare knuckle, they're two different. Like it's not. It's like doing like one's Bob Arum, one's Don King. It's not a.
Got it. Because Luke was talking about it earlier too here. Like bare knuckle MMA, bare knuckle boxing.
Yeah, because he did regular bare knuckle.
Yeah, just bare knuckle boxing.
Yeah, he would be better at bare knuckle MMA, I think.
Oh yeah, if he could use his wrestling, he'd be great.
Well, it's not even that. If he could use his kicks,
his kicks,
that would kill someone.
It's just like the bare knuckle MMA is or bare knuckle regular BKFC type stuff. It's 2 minutes of rock'em sock'em go.
Oh, it's 2 minute rounds.
2 minute round.
I can't even watch that. I can't even watch it really.
It's crazy.
It's really brutal. But the thing is you can watch the different flavor. Like when Mike Perry and Luke, like when you see the upper echelon, you can totally see the difference between like it'd be like watching boxing and Tough Men. Mm-hmm. Like you see the total difference of like, oh, those are fighters, and that's just that's 2 minutes to go.
Yeah.
What about the bare knuckle MMA? How it's 5 minutes?
It's MMA with no gloves.
Oh, okay.
Nothing else changes. It's same rules, same everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of my friends from Japan flew all the way to Mississippi from Japan to go watch your fight.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you still have a massive name. Did you watch the Eddie Alvarez and Mike Perry fight?
Dude, I actually went to the fight.
Eddie Alvarez, 40 years old, just scrapping with Mike Perry.
Dude, dude, he was actually piecing him up for the first first round, I was like, oh, that one, that was close. But then you could see Eddie going, he's still there, man. He's still there.
Bro,
Yeah.
Mike Perry got that dog. I'm trying to tell you, when I met him when we me and Shannon did that team captain thing for the triad, the boxing thing, and it was Platinum that won for the MMA guys.
Oh wow.
He had a tough boxing match. I think the boxer dropped him, and he came all the way back and won the fight, and it was his fight that won it for us MMA guys. It was MMA versus boxing in that little triangle. And they had changed the rules a little bit, but right the day before they changed the rules again to favor the boxers, and we still won.
Yeah, Mike Perry's a different animal, huh?
Yeah, no, it's the one thing about like Mike that I've seen with bare knuckle is you have to be that fighter. Like, like I don't care who you fight. I'm fighting. And then there's the guys that are like, we'll say athletic, more athletes than the fighter part. And then you can see where as soon as they get hit with a bare knuckle, they're like, well, I'm good. Yeah. That's not for me.
Yeah. Before we go, first of all, I want to say thank you for coming on the podcast. This has been an amazing time. It's been fantastic kind of have you here in the studio. Such a legendary name in mixed martial arts that me and Rampage and everybody been talking about this. Very excited to have you on here as we go through the legends and the goats of the sport. You're definitely an iconic name. What is next for you as someone who's paved the way, had some of the best fights in MMA history, as a heavyweight and as someone who can throw hands still at this age and go win fights and scrap? What's next for you? What do you love? What are you looking for? What else do you want to accomplish?
Always just trying to change the game a little bit, just, a little bit at a time, but just educate a lot of other fighters, but I just want to have a good time. And then especially it's as simple as, I've been blessed enough to do what I love for the last, 25 years. So,
25 years of professional fighting.
Well, 20 years fighting. But when I first got into it, it was like, I just wanted to be, I'm getting paid to do jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like everybody thinks I'm a knockout guy. I'm a jiu-jitsu guy. That's where I made my bread and butter. And I was traveling the world just doing jiu-jitsu. I'm like, dude, this is so cool.
Man, I was so impressed at how big he is and how good he is at jiu-jitsu. You just don't see a whole lot of big guys like you that good at jiu-jitsu. Just don't see it. Remember Rico Rodriguez? Yeah.
Right? Rico's the one who really got me into it because, or made me believe I could do it because you know how Rico used to look?
Yeah.
Right? And then the thing about Rico was he had, we call it the Rico hustle.
Yeah.
Because Rico would do that little, because how most heavyweights would you'd do that little extra. Just that little extra. And that little extra was just enough to put you over the edge. And that's where I would say somebody like Cain Velasquez or, it's he always did that little extra. And then that was what, made him the better fighter than a lot of, because most heavyweights are like, get off me, boom. And then they're one punch versus boom, boom, and you throw a couple punches.
All right, let's set the record straight. You didn't get offended when I told Kimbo Slice, how you gonna get the moon off of you when I was talking about your belly? You didn't get offended by that.
No, because, I got offended, but not offended.
You got offended about that?
Well, offended as in if you wanted to fight, I'd be like, I'm down to fight.
Damn. That's a fighter.
Oh, come on. Yeah.
That's crazy.
No,
but not offended as in I want to beat you up.
Cried or pissed or
no, it was more like, oh, he thinks like that. We're in the fight. We're in the fight game. We can fight.
Damn.
I wasn't even a heavyweight then, and you wanted to fight me.
No, but I didn't care.
Man.
He said, well, if you want to talk, let's go. He said, well, then don't talk.
I never backed down from a fight.
Well, the thing about the Ultimate Fighter, they'd be like, oh, there's no fighting in the house. No, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, guess what, guys? We're going to spar really hard. Okay.
Are those,
there's a way to work around everything.
Are those fighting words to you when people talk about?
No.
Yeah.
No.
But you wasn't offended by it.
No.
Could we shake on that? Could we be friends again?
All right.
I just want to say that the podcast brought y'all together.
I never had a problem with him. The only person I had a problem with was titties.
Well, yeah, you bullied him.
No, I didn't.
He should have a problem with you.
No, how am I bullying somebody bigger than me? He was bigger than me. He was a heavyweight. I'm not a heavyweight.
You can bully people with words.
Yes, bro.
You guys are weak. When I went this,
not me.
Not me
Titties
either.
might have been a little weak because he'd be like, "Why you call me Titties, man?"
But he at first he was okay with the nickname. At first he was okay.
That's because you acknowledged him.
That's because you gave him some shine.
Yeah, that's. I mean, if you're like, "Hey, Roy, how you doing?" I'd be like, "Oh, look, he knows my name."
Hey, when I was a kid, the saying was, "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me."
True.
And now you make fun of somebody, you're a bully.
But yeah, you bully people because most people can't fight you, brother.
No, it's most people are just little bitches.
Yeah, they are. But he's a fighter.
Most people can't fight you.
He's a fighter. He was bigger than me. He could have fought me. He could have fought me anytime. You know what I'm saying? He was just upset that.
Titties didn't want smoke with you.
But Titties didn't try to like fight him. Like when he talked about the big moon on blah blah. Like let's fight. Let's do it. Like I'm cool. Let's do it.
Did you ever tell him that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Did he ever yell at you like, "Let's go"?
I don't remember him yelling.
Yeah. Well, as soon as he did it, he said it. I was like, "Oh, you got a problem? Let's go."
He probably did. I didn't have a problem.
That's crazy. You would try to bully two people on the show.
No,
that's crazy to me, dog.
My coaches was trying to tell him how to like if you mounted him, they were showing him a technique to get you off him, and it was wrong.
Good thing I didn't mount him.
Yeah, but it was wrong. The technique that they were showing him how to get you off him. Off the top of him, I was like, "How you gonna move the moon like that?" And people said, "Oh, Roy is upset with you that you said his belly reminded you of the moon."
Oh,
I was like, "Man, come on! I didn't mean it like that, man."
God, the Ultimate Fighter really brought out the worst out of some of y'all, huh?
It's a show where I'm on TV. I got to be funny. I got to be because I have to
You don't have to be anything. You just have to be you.
And that's me.
This is one person. So we were talking. We had a bunch of fighters here last night. Everybody was trained. We had Sugar Shane Mosley and his son Sugar Shane Mosley Jr. and the Silva kids and a bunch of boxers and MMA fighters. And everybody is in here. And everybody's like, "Yeah, yo, Big Country. That's someone I would not want to fight." Like everybody has like this perception of you that you're just this like mean, tough Goliath, like makes moonshine, is in like some backyard cabin no one's ever seen, but you're like the nicest, most humblest guy.
No, well, see, this is different. We're not fighting. If we're gonna fight at the end, you'll be like, "Dude, I'll never do that again. I'll never ask for that question, or I never want that guy."
Oh, got it. I like that.
That's why you never can get a like for me it'd be like, "I want a rematch," and they're like, "No, I just looked through that one. I'm good."
I like that. Because everybody has a good I would say everybody has a good opinion on you as a fighter, which is, yeah, that's one dude I don't want to fight. I would say that's like the consensus.
He is a tough fight because he can knock you out and then he can submit you. And
well, the minute you go to the ground, he's gonna just throw his weight all over you. He knows how to use it,
and he can wrestle. He is a tough fight.
Yeah. So going into this rest of your career, I know you want to have fun. I know you're looking at some more fights. We're about to wrap up. Anybody you want to fight?
The only one that I have on my bucket list right now would be whoever has the belt over at bare knuckle Jorge's thing.
What is it called? Game bread.
Yeah. That'd be the only thing. But I mean, I'd like the rematch with Allen.
Yeah,
but
that needs to happen.
But I really don't need the rematch because we already know who won. So it's not. I'm not.
Yeah.
But it's because a lot of people don't understand, like, well, why did you wrestle? And I'm like, well, because I thought I was fighting in literally I thought we were fighting in January. That's what I was told. So you don't want to break your hands. So you're like, what's the safe way to win?
Yeah.
And I went out there and did what I was supposed to do. And like I said, fight IQ versus like the first time I fought in Game Bread, I knocked my guy out. I was like, That's what they thought they were going to get. And I would have done that if I would have been like, yeah, the championship's not until June. So I know if I broke my hand or whatever, I know I had a couple months to recover.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I fought Mark Hunt, I broke my hand. When I fought Big Nog, I broke both my hands on Big Nog. And then...
What'd you hit that made you break your hand?
Huh? I hit his face.
And it just broke?
Well, it's because he has metal plates in his face.
Big Nog?
Yeah.
From who? From what?
I think from... his either accident or,
oh, that's right. He was in a bad accident. I forgot about that.
So I was hitting metal and it wasn't like I broke my pinkies or anything. So I was hitting him right.
So when you hit Big Nog's face, you hit a metal plate in his face and it breaks your hand.
Yeah. And then and then the only reason I found that out was when we were because we were in Abu Dhabi and we had to go to the hospital together. And then that's what I found out, you know, he had plates, but I broke my hand with him. The UFC wanted me to fight Mark Hunt. And I'm like, well, you know, I got pins still in my hand, you know, like they're still cast up pins. And I'm like, I'll take the fight. And I couldn't even close my fist until like 3 weeks before the fight.
Yeah, I can't imagine what
That's
that
a tough
feels
fight.
like.
That's a tough fight when you're not 100% with your fist.
Because I heard talking, they're like, well, are you sure you can be ready? I'm like, I still have pins in my hand, so I don't know. But I'll take the fight.
Don't they gotta go in and take the pins back out though?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
No, I'm good. I don't want any of that. I'm fine with just hitting the bag.
Well, the pins are sticking out of your hand, like hold them.
No, I'm okay. You good on that?
Yeah. When I broke my hand, I didn't need pins. Like no way I would have fought with. I still got pins. You had to train with pins in your hand.
I literally just jogged or ran like, and then still I had my hands.
May do.
But the problem was I couldn't make a fist because my hands were with pins, so you can't
grab.
And you got to rehab it.
You had to do rehab. I couldn't. So every time I had put those, like big boxing gloves, and I hit mitts like this.
Shit, the fighters go through, bro.
Oh no. Yeah, but I mean, it's different though. I just feel like there's a small percentage of you guys that can like make it through that. The new up and coming fighter just doesn't have to deal with that or feel that.
That's why I say that the new fighters. That's why I say like a lot of the new fighters, they're more fans. That's what I say.
Hey, I make $80,000. I'm in the UFC.
Listen, dude, it's been an amazing talk. I'm glad we could just sit here and chop it up.
Yeah.
I feel like it's always just like a good talk when we have guys like you and Rampage. Obviously, of course, always is amazing. It's just I feel like the MMA community sometimes needs conversations like this.
Yeah.
Not pushing no narrative, not trying to sell any fights, just kind of literally talking. And I feel that's one thing that the podcast has been doing a lot lately. So I really do appreciate you opening up to us and kind of just coming through the JAXXON House here in Newport Beach and showing us some time and some love. Appreciate it. I'm sure the fans appreciate it as well.
I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Where can we buy some of this big country gear from? It looks dope. I like it.
RoyNelson.com.
RoyNelson.com.
We'll put in the description.
Roy Nelson. All right.
RoyNelson.com.
Yeah.
Cool.
Roy. Last name Nelson.com.
I love it. We'll put in the description if you guys want to get some of the merch. You guys could see it right here. I'm getting one of those t-shirts.
Or you can go to JAXXON.com.
There you go. We might have to make a big country JAXXON t-shirt.
Oh, that'd be dope,
That'd be
man.
sick.
That would be sick.
Put a big bottle of moonshine on the middle.
I would say put a banjo on that motherfucker. Dun, 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 dun.
It'll look like the poster.
Listen, I'm Bear to GDO. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys leave a comment. Let us know who you guys want to see next. Like always, it's a pleasure to be here to do this. And make sure you guys subscribe, like, and share this video. I'm out.
I'm out. Thank you.
Thank you.